And we're live, and kind of slightly too late. I've decided something is a bit weird with the setup here, and I want to change it, which is going to look awkward. So if I do this, and then this, and then this, maybe a bit more. That's enough fiddling around. I don't want to fiddle around more than that. We'll leave that for there. Hello, good evening. Welcome. Let's see who's in the chat already. Locust Trooper and Nobody. Hello, hello, hello. We have indeed in Melbourne town heard the chiming of the curfew bells. We are locked inside. And hello, Mega Leech and Invisible Chicken. Good to see you after I've had a couple of nights off to socialize with the humans in the home. A date night on Saturday night and just like chilling out and watching TV last night. So that's the exciting lockdown life I live. It should be called a counseling service. So many boomer conservatives on those like Beyond Blue, carry in mind. Blame all your problems on being online. Well, yeah. I don't know that much about the services, actually, what training the people get and what drives them to do it. But yeah, so I think the efficacy of those services, your mileage may vary type of thing. It's hard to be sure what you're going to get and what's right for you. Like, sure, you're not a fan of the lines. Well, it was this thing. I've never used them. I don't know that much about them. I know there are people who are very big advocates for them. I think your response to your experience is completely legitimate. It's unfortunate that you did have a bad experience with them. Yeah, I'm not sure what if they offer any options like, can I talk to someone else because you kind of suck. Good evening, Fox of Fate. You have indeed arrived. I'm trying to think what cocktails to make for my YouTube channel this week. Like, sure, a lot of people seem to be there in for the money. Dude, they're in the wrong fucking job if they're in it for the money. I am reasonably sure they don't make a lot of money doing that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're making very poor life choices if they're in it for the money. Hey, Luke, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Yes. Are you okay is a reasonable thing to ask at the moment. It was very interesting when I looked at, what's today the day of, and thing saying it was World Mental Health Day, and I was like, wow, what a fucking time to check in on people's mental health when being fucking freaked out, depressed and anxious is a completely rational reaction to the actual world and shit that is happening. Now, but here can I talk to somebody else? That's what they get from you, or give them a serve? Yeah, I mean, yes. If you are calling a crisis line and you feel they're failing you, yeah, you should absolutely be empowered to say, yeah, no, this is not working. I need to talk to someone else. I think everyone has those two sides, the nice guy and the asshole. Luke, your mental health's not the best. Yeah, okay, dude, that's a very positive attitude to take. Understanding you're not being 100% there, but keeping up the positive outlook that you do it okay. Yeah, dude. That's a very positive step. Fox, try and make a cocktail from vodka, agua de Bolivia, and mac. Mostly do is one part of each and some simple syrups. All right. Okay, I'll go out on a limb. I really took inspiration from this guy I saw on a live stream a while back. He said, like, there are a lot of cocktails that are equal part cocktails, and there'll be like a 3-element cocktail, and there's some quite popular cocktails that are 3 equal parts, 3 ingredients. I saw this guy once, and he said, "Yeah, I know people say do equal parts." He said, "Don't be shy about messing with that and making one flavor the champion." You wouldn't do that with vodka, because vodka doesn't have a particularly distinctive or pleasant flavor. I don't know what the flavor of the agua de Bolivia is. I know what the flavor of mac is. You wouldn't often, sometimes make mac. I'm going to have a look. If I just do agua de Bolivia cocktails, I'm going to see what sort of thing people suggest. Frappe, Bloody Mary, Energy, Snowball, Agua and Advocat, Bolivian Kiss, Agua and Lime, Bolivian Sour, Agua and Fire, a Feeble, Coca Margarita, Tequila, Agua de Bolivia, Coca Leaf Martini, a Green Goblin, a melon liqueur in it, manzana smash, an apple juice, a piranha, lemon soda, lime juice, rainforest caipirinha. Oh my god, they've got a QAnon cocktail. That's disturbing. Okay, so interested in their version of a margarita. Feature the tequila bold, little bit of the agua de Bolivia. QAnon, Bolivia, rum, and cola. Okay. This is an interesting Piranha. Okay, yeah, that's just a mixed drink. Snowball, this one interests me. Agua de Bolivia, Castle Glen, Advocat. Okay, Yukon syrup. It's an interesting challenge. David, you got to walk in today. That helps. I got to walk in today as well with Mrs. Angry, and that was good. There was a bit of blue sky. It's amazing how much more positive that makes you mood. Yes, stepping outside the door is good. Nobody for mental health. You bought a punching bag, but you broke it. Yeah, you're tougher punching bag. But I'm really intrigued at this challenge of yours, Fox, to make a cocktail, vodka, agua de Bolivia, and mac. Now, the other thing I should do, because they have good cocktails on the Mac website. Brookies, Mac by Brookies. Let's check it out. Whiskey cocktails. Yes, I'm old enough. Okay, Mac cocktails. So I think this might be an interesting one. Do they have one where they make Mac the feature? Because that would be interesting. Okay. Okay, so simple ones. Mac, passion fruit, sparkling. Mac bitters and ginger beer. Mac and coconut. Mac over ice. Mac espresso. Okay. Now the slightly more complicated ones. Okay, gin, Mac, coffee. Gin, Mac, coffee. Mac tiki, Mac, pineapple, rum. Okay, that's one where they do make Mac the center. That's interesting. There, Mac espresso martini, macaroni, Mac and Campari, and gin. Ah, that's a Negroni, yes. Mac sour, Mac lemon juice aquafaba. Yeah, okay. Or they're more complex ones, which they disturbingly call Tom Cruise level. Rum and Mac. Mac and rum and white chocolate. Fireside. What's this? Gin, Mac, Amaro. Okay, I'm going to have to think on it. Haru here. How are you? Isolation is a bit. Nobody got a bike ride in. That is a good thing to get in as well. That was date night. Date night was good. We got food from a place from our old neighborhood, which is just inside the 5 kilometer radius we're allowed to travel. A place called Ilona Stolla in Balaclava, named after the Italian porn star who became a politician. Her stage name, her porn name, was Cicciolina. Her actual name was Ilona Stolla. The same people. There is a restaurant in St Kilda called Cicciolina, and one in Balaclava called Ilona Stolla, started by the same people. And their food is fucking great. And when I'm not locked down and you can dine in there, like their cocktails as well. They actually make pretty strong cocktails. Like there's all these jokes about people at home in isolation are making really strong drinks, and they'll complain when they go back to bars, like, it's not strong enough, I've been making my own. Ilona Stolla probably makes stronger cocktails than I do. I follow recipes. I'm kind of not averse to getting drunk, but I'm not usually in a hurry to get absolutely shit-faced. So yeah, I don't overdo it when I make my cocktails at home, but they make very good ones at Ilona Stolla. But yeah, we had food from Ilona Stolla. I actually made 3 different milk clarified cocktails for the night, because Mrs. Angry is having a bit of a problem with heartburn, and anything acidic gives her heartburn. And of course, a lot of cocktails have citrus in them and acidic content in them. But we had the theory that doing the milk clarification process would actually tame down the acid in the drink, and you get the whey from the milk added to the drink, mellow it out a bit, and it worked. I made a classic, or a version of a classic, that's called Mimi's Milk Punch. And by classic, I mean the recipe's probably hundreds of years old. And I made a version of that. And that's a rum and brandy drink. You get rum and brandy and tea and some fruit flavors. Then you milk clarify that. I made milk clarified pina colada. Traditionally, you just put white rum in a pina colada, but I wasn't fucking around. I was making a big old clarified one. I actually put 4 different sorts of rum in it, including overproof, and that was real good. And then I made an experiment, and it worked, thankfully. But as something I made for the first time, I made a gin gimlet, which is basically just gin and lime, and clarified with white chocolate milk. So I did white chocolate, drinking chocolate, mix that with just a few ounces of milk, and use that as the clarifying agent. The drink did not taste like chocolate, but I think the sweetness of the chocolate mix probably tamed the acidity of the lime, the tartness of the lime. Though it was still quite tart. It was very good. It's good. No, but that is a good point. If you drink less often, it affects you more. It's a problem. Alcoholics have a very high tolerance for alcohol. Rory, thanks for dropping by. And look after yourself. Voodoo Cobra, I'm on Twitch. I'm streaming to 3 different platforms at the moment. I'm streaming to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch just because I can. That's why you're seeing me on Twitch, because up until recently, the platform I'm using, StreamYard, only let me stream to 2 places. So I was just streaming to Facebook and YouTube. But they recently changed it, so there's like an update, and I can stream to 3 platforms. Oh, Rick, it's you. Okay, cool. I absolutely would not have known that from your Twitch handle, Voodoo Cobra. But yes, so I am streaming to 3 platforms now, just because I can. So, it's the type of thing. All right, so... yes, you're right, Luke. Most people are chatting on YouTube. There's more happening there. There we go. I think it's the official Agua UK site for drinks. Oblivion Kiss, a Green Goblin, a Blaster, a Citrus Goodness, a Fresca, Oblivion Mule, Piranha, Agua Energy, Kokomaru. I think these are actually the same drinks, just on a different site. Rainforest, Caipirinha. Agua de Bolivia, sugar syrup, and lime. Yeah, that is a caipirinha, but with Agua de Bolivia instead of... I was going to say pisco. That's not right. It is... What is the Brazilian drink? It is... That's a brand name. It's just a big brand name. Oh, God, why's my brain stopped working? Cachaça. Thank you. Why? Why did my brain just absolutely stop working? And I could not remember the name cachaça, which is a Brazilian rum-like drink. Nobody. I have a single stream of chat, but it tells me what platform people are on. Yes. And Musical Aviator, hello, good evening. But yes, if someone's watching on YouTube, they'll only see the YouTube comments. And if they're watching on Twitch, they'll only see the Twitch comments. And if they're watching on Facebook, they'll only see the Facebook comments. So it can, and that's usually why I say who I'm responding to as well. Funny stuff. Your dad wanted to order a rug cleaner. Wow, what? First day 7 arrived, then 5 more, and you're now up to 16 rug cleaners. I assume you're only charged for one? And by rug cleaner, is that a spray or is that a machine? That's weird. Logan Trooper, how does NBN bandwidth cope 3? See, I'm not streaming to 3. I'm using StreamYard, and their server retransmits it to the other platforms. I'm not actually sending it out 3 times. I'm only sending it out once. But that's why if you, for instance, jumped between YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, you'd see they're out of synchronization. Sometimes by a long time. Sometimes by 30 to 60 seconds. There's that big lag between the different platforms. And certainly for me here, like the time difference between when I say something and when you hear and see me say it can be anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. So it's weird. According to this paperwork, you put them all in the shopping cart. Oh, that's a bit of a worry. Luke, you reckon Facebook goes live first, then YouTube, then Twitch? Okay. When you stream, you normally get a couple hundred chats on YouTube, a couple on Twitch, and Facebook comments are hard to even see. Yeah, I mean, the overwhelming majority of the chat when I go live is YouTube. But, you know, some people like Facebook. So for funsies, I stream to Facebook as well. They're going to take them all back, apart from the one you ordered on. They're giving you a free one as a spare. Yeah, that is super weird. I did some more ordering of the online things today, and I'm getting an ice cream maker. Lucas Trooper, can StreamYard stream your desktop? Because you live stream yourself in real YouTube channel and want to live stream on Facebook as well. If you get one of the paid licenses for StreamYard, there's a free version where you can stream to one platform for free. And then there's like the paid version I have, you can stream to 3 platforms if you're choosing. And then there's the pro version that I think, yeah, you can stream up to 10 platforms, something like that. I don't know. Voodoo you bought a cotton candy maker. Yes. Excellent. Well, I'm going to see, when I was talking about making the milk clarified cocktails, I've made them on the live stream a few times. The milk separates into curds and whey, and the curds in the milk does most of the actual clarifying of the drink. But then the curds are left behind, and the curds are like the base for cheese, essentially. That's the base thing that's used to make cheese, and so it's completely edible. And the curds take on the flavor of the drink that went through them. So Mrs. Angry's been adding them to desserts, like she'll make a bread and butter pudding or a rice pudding, and I save the curds from the drinks I make, and she puts them in, put them in the pudding. And we're talking about, hey, you know, we could put it in the thing where we can make ice cream. We could put in that, get exotic ice cream flavors. So that's what's going to do. Chris, hello, good evening. You can, yes, okay. Like Stripper, you can share your screen on StreamYard. For instance, like, I mean, that's a tax on bandwidth, of course. If you are running a game or a video and sharing that with people, as I have learned, you don't want to try and do that over Wi-Fi. You want a good connection for that? Oh yeah, Voodoo Kobe. The curds get some great flavors. Like they really have the flavor of the drink, and they tend not to dominate when they're in a dessert, but you can taste them, which is nice. There's probably also an alcohol content in them as well, so you're having a boozy dessert. But we're going to experiment with adding them to ice cream and make exotic flavored ice creams. Chris, you got an electric bike to match your electric car. Nice. Yes, Chris, I'm getting cheesy, definitely. Fox, I was never huge on bread and butter pudding or rice pudding, but Mrs. Angry makes very nice bread and butter pudding and rice pudding, actually. So, yes, I've been doing the online shopping again. Been buying bought a bunch of booze. Got more booze arriving in the next, I don't know, couple weeks. Some of it's going to arrive this week. Some of it's going to maybe take until next week. It might all arrive this week. I might have like another fucking shit ton of booze arrive this week because I've been a bit decadent. But that's okay. I'm allowed to be. Ooh, nice. Chris, your grandma made best southern bread chocolate pudding. Nice. That does sound good. It's excellent stuff. Yeah, so I've got stuff coming from the Applewood Distillery. Their new finger lime gin, Australian flavors in that. Their limoncello and their sweet vermouth. And fucking Dan's sucked me in today. Dan Murphy's thinking, check this out. It's like an Irish cream liqueur with a whiskey base, and it's white chocolate, and it was like 20% off. Dan's members. And I go, okay, you got me. I'm getting it. And I was just while I was there, I was like, to make it worth it with shipping, is there something else I can get? And I realized I was almost out of tequila, and they had a tequila on special, so I got some tequila as well. Chris, yes, you can buy alcohol online. It's real easy. You normally have to provide some proof of age, but particularly in yon lockdown, honestly. But how do you do it? Yeah, like it's like your underages ordering online booze and getting away with it, but it's delivered to the house. And everyone's at home. Parents are working from home. You can't hide it from your parents. This gave me a throwback to 2019 Flight Sim stream. That's a throwback, is it? 2019. Flew a Tiger Airbus 320, kept referencing things from August 2019 news, like an early start to bushfire season and Tiger buying Boeing 737s. Nice. So, yeah, I mean, most of the websites, Christ, I don't know, they don't ask for anything more than saying, are you 18? And you say, yes, I am. And they go, okay, cool. Trying to think. I'm getting mildly distracted. Like, have I ordered something else online? I got the stuff from Applewood. I got the ice cream maker. Now I bought some more booze from Dan's. Is that it? I think that might be it. I wasn't going to buy any more booze for a while, and then I did. Story of my life. Oh well. We can only do what we can only do. Right. Bloody well, right. Ooh, apocalypse drinks with agua de Bolivia. I feel fine. Chili pepper vodka. Agua de Bolivia. Champagne. Wow. Fire and brimstone. Spice gin. Antica formula. Campari. Cinnamon liqueur. A revelation. Mezcal. Vermouth. Agua de Bolivia. Crushed cardamom. What's this one? Gin, Agua de Bolivia. Whiskey with the words. King Left Behind, cognac, Bolivia, King's ginger. I'm trying to find an inspiration for an agua. Oh, here we go. Halloween cocktails with Agua de Bolivia. Let's see. Chris, yes, I did notice that in the States, the cops are on a crime spree. Hey, Toronto Maple Leaver. Hello. How are you? Heine. No, crime hasn't reduced massively, I don't think. Some crime has increased. Catherine, you make a note on your whiteboard when you order something. That's a good point. Claxon Cow, sorry, you're going 2 weeks without COVID repeat symptoms. Oh, Jesus, dude, it's been knocking about for 4 or 5 months. I've seen a lot of that. Yeah, no, that sucks. Hey, Brennan, as well. Oh, good. Toronto Maple Leafer, enjoying your day off. Nice. Celebrating having made it through another Monday, which is a plus. Toronto Maple Leafer, how am I doing? In my fine city of Melbourne, we are actually under curfew because of fears of the Rona getting totally out of control. And so we've put quite extreme measures in place to clamp down on it. Looks like it's working. Hoping to see really distinct results by the end of this week. Yeah, because we were right on the verge of it going just absolutely spiraling out of control. So there have been more cases and more deaths in Melbourne in the last month than for all of Australia for the whole duration of the pandemic. So that's how bad the last month was in Melbourne. Musically, the August headlines: Epstein found dead, Typhoon Likma hits China, bushfire near Crescent Head, policeman hit Indigenous woman in Charles House. Oh, yeah. That's the same old summer. Chris, yes, seeing the thing, how many kids and teachers are sick in the US. I am also very worried about those long-term effects. Like Claxon Cow was saying, he's been knocked about for months. There's the thing. The deniers fucking suck balls. Saying, oh, it's good, less than 1% anyway. But the actual real deal is so like up to 30% of people who contract the virus can expect to get really sick, and drag on today. A lot of people have called it like hyperflu, just like it's like influenza but fucking on steroids, and it really knocks you about. And we are seeing indications that of this 30%, a lot of people, it acts like a chronic illness, like takes months and months and months to recover from. And about 10% of people who contract the virus get so sick they require medical support. They don't necessarily have to be hospitalized, but they need medical help or the complications will get worse and worse and worse. And yeah, probably the fatality rate is probably somewhere between 1% and 5%. So it's not good. Keely Bunny, yes, it's not happy times. It is not happy times. Yeah, Brennan, I've seen that California's not the only place where people are ignoring the lockdown. Klaxon Cow, yeah, your experience was mild symptoms, but yeah, it can really fucking get you. Kaylee Bunny, you've had it, yeah. As I say, the weird thing is like people. So even if the 1% fatality or less than 1% fatality rate was true, what I've always said is all it's going to take is for you or someone you care about to contract the virus, and you're going to realize real hard that 1% is not 0%, and it's frightening. Look, guy went to get smokes in Melbourne after APM got fired. Yeah, indeed, fuck that guy. Well, there was, some people tried to organise a public protest, like through Facebook, in Melbourne on Sunday, and two of the organisers got arrested ahead of time. Apparently, a very small number of people showed up, like hundreds on Facebook said they were going to go, but I think the fact that cops made it absolutely clear what was going to happen, hardly anyone showed up. And the one that showed up, the cops go, right, okay, you more than 5 kilometers from home, $1,600 fine for you. Give me your name and address. It's more than 5 kilometers away, $1,600 fine for you. Give me your name and address. No? Cool, you're under arrest. No, I'm not. Smack, arms behind your back, handcuffs. Yeah, you are. You're under arrest. Which is fucking hilarious. I want to make a video about how funny they are. Oh, Chris, you had a friend die. Yeah, it is not good. Toronto Maple Leaf, your mum got it. She thought she was going to die in her apartment. It was too weak to grab the phone and call 911. Yeah, a lot of people are really knocked about by it. Kaylee, you weren't hospitalized, so your friends downplay it. But you got it in March. It took a month to be able to walk upstairs. That's the thing a lot of people say. If it gets a hold of you, the shortness of breath thing, the absolutely lack of energy thing lasts for a long time. There's a significant recovery period. In Claxon Cow, your mild symptoms, mild compared to pneumonia and death, but not mild compared to the common cold. Yes, David, having it and not knowing. And that's the thing. All the asymptomatic people, through no fault of their own, could be exposing people. Music David, I reckon the sovereign citizens should be deported. Maybe. Hey, Annette, how you doing? Oh, David, the IPA are pieces of shit. I hate them so much. Locust Trooper. Oh, yeah, economically, we globally are going to feel the effects of this economically for a decade. But that's inevitable. If you do nothing and the disease ravages the population, that's going to damage the economy more. There's these fuckwits who are going, the economy, don't seem to understand. This is an incredibly contagious, incredibly dangerous disease. And without aggressive moves to limit its spread, it'll ass fuck the economy like you won't believe. Kaylee, when you thought you were better, you couldn't walk for more than 10 minutes, your gums swelled up, didn't go down. still have issues. Mouth has been going numb. Arthritis increase, vision. Yep, the mouth thing. People said it's like affects taste, and the swelling gums. Yeah, it seems to affect your pulmonary system, your blood system. Charlie, you'll see a psych in a couple of weeks, and he'll assess the severity of your autism. Wowzers! You need so you can switch job providers. God, yeah. Well, I hope you get the proper support. The fucking lack of support is bullshit. Yeah, Chris, you're absolutely right. We have no idea of what sort of permanent disabilities people may get out of this. George Maple, how's AJ doing? He was in hospital for his own thing earlier, and I haven't heard from him for a week. And so I'm actually a little bit worried about him at the moment. And I can't even cross town to bang on his door because I'd be breaking the law if I did that. So, yeah. I think you're right, Chris. The COVID is exacerbating some economic hits that were probably going to happen, and the unrest with Black Lives Matter, etc., was always there, and it's maybe exacerbated it. Yeah, nobody. The whole herd immunity thing is based on all available evidence. We could not reach herd immunity without 1 to 5% of the population, and that's in a best case scenario, 1 to 5% of the population dying over the next year, 2 years. And then all those people, 31%, like in the US, that's 3-4 million people, and up to 20 million. And it obviously could be much worse if health systems get overwhelmed and can't handle the rate of spread. The death rate's going to go much higher. So herd immunity, I mean, like in Australia, that means 300,000 to 1 million people dying of it. So, and the US, it's like 3 to 10 million. Chris, you're going to get a passport, but where are you going to go, man? No one's allowed to travel anywhere. Oh, Visible Chicken, you actually found a good job finding service. I'm pretty glad about that. Okay, Kaylee, you're going to say you felt like you got COVID twice and relapsed once. Yeah, no, that's actually, you hit the nail on the head, Kaylee. There is a real concern you can get reinfected with COVID, particularly if your system's been knocked the fuck around. Opportunistic infections could happen. So, yeah, Claxon Cow, there is a belief the antibodies only last 3 months or so. So herd immunity may be literally impossible. Oh, Jesus. Oh, and here's Kaylee, don't move to Sweden. Sweden's had 10 times the death rate of their neighbors. Go to one of the neighboring countries, like Finland. Go to one of the neighboring countries, or go to South Korea, where freaking no, was it Vietnam, who actually shares a border with China and had 0 deaths. It's astonishing. Move if you want to hide from the virus, move to Vietnam. They're amazing. Well, Kaylee, it is true. Compared to America, it's much better. Sweden is much better. But its immediate neighbors are orders of magnitude better. So move to one of the immediate neighbors. Yeah, move to one of the other Scandinavian countries, Kaylee. That'd be the way to go. Safa, I've tried calling and texting AIDSy and haven't got a response. So I don't know what's going on. Chris, you're practicing the Canadian anthem just so you can defect. Yeah, well, good luck. I don't think Canada's super keen on taking people from Plagueville, America. It's much like the rest of Australia looking down on Victoria at the moment. We're the plague characters. Megalich, yeah, I actually should ask boss of the house. You are right, Megalich. Annette, yes, that is a bit concerning about AIDSy, that he hasn't responded at all. So I don't know what's happening. Safa, see, he's going to see a text or a phone message before he sees a letter. Yes, David, New Zealand would be worth defecting to. Yes. Just check my contacts. Jason. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I had a holiday in New Zealand a couple of years ago. And even at the time when there wasn't sort of global crises happening, I thought, oh, Jesus, New Zealand's the place to come to wait out the apocalypse. Enormous supplies of fresh, clean water. A lot of dumb ground-dwelling animals to kill for food and fur. Absolutely New Zealand. Probably the South Island. The South Island of New Zealand is the place to go to wait out the apocalypse. So does Antarctica have COVID? Don't think Antarctica has people. Luke, well, yeah, possibly Tasmania. They've got on top of things, yeah. Chris did extreme social distancing, went for a hike in the mountains. Nice. Nice. I wasn't even thinking of the sheep, actually, but of course there are lots and lots of sheep in New Zealand. So I'd probably, work on the sheep before hunting the possums and the rabbits, but they're everywhere. They're overrun with rabbits, possums, fat Australian possums, and stoats. All things that got introduced and went wild. Bobo, you can reach the 5 kilometers to give care. That is true. You might be being a bit liberal with you can visit friends and family for compassionate reasons. Stoats are like weasels. Ferrets. The British introduced them and they went wild. Look, stupid. I hear about Drew Pavlo, the idiot. Oh, yeah. No, he is a bit of a clown, which is funny. It's like, speaking out against the Chinese government is something I'm 100% on board with. I think they're vile totalitarians. But that particular guy is a racist piece of shit. Hey, Kirsten. Hello. Good evening. Musical aviator, Antarctica missions would normally only be starting next month. Someone who works at Christchurch said they're actually preparing the Antarctic mission area, the airport, for missions now. There you go. I'm going to try to think some themed cocktails for the rest of the week. So yes, if you went to your mum's place in Victoria and then went back home, you would have to isolate for 14 days. Lock yourself in a room for 14 days. Yeah, that would test the skills. I mean, I felt a bit sick on the weekend, not cold flu sick, like not COVID symptom sick, like some stomach thing, and I was really tired. But I was getting to the stage like, I don't know, this is not good. Like, honestly, if I get a sore throat or a runny nose or shortness of breath, I'm going for a test. But I was much better this morning and didn't really have any of the symptoms. But we give the local cops a call, see if they could send a SWAT team over. Yes, I mean, we joke, but sending cops for health checks is a super bad idea because they fucking kill people. Brandon, you were going to visit New Zealand. The relationship with the person you lived over ended over the beginning of the year. Yeah, that's a bit fucking shit. Yeah, I agree with you. Safa, if you're not meant to be around anyone, so wherever you can be and not be around anyone, like even family, when you're doing that 14-day isolation. But yes, absolutely, Kaylee. COVID can affect the stomach very much. No, you're right. I literally I thought I only need one more symptom, and I'm going to go get a test. It can absolutely normal in not that COVID's not actually influenza, but it's just has a similar appearance. But influenza can stomach. I actually got based on what was going around at the time last year. I probably got a swine flu variant because I was just fucking projectiling out of both ends. It was like 12 plus hours of nonstop vomiting and thinking I was going to die, and then 12 hours of lying there wondering why haven't I died yet, and then a couple of days to recover. Some bastard at VidCon gave it to me. And then I felt really bad because I gave it to Mrs. Angry and it affected her a bit differently. But yeah. And I know that it's one of the lesser symptoms, but it can be a stomach thing, the old COVID. So, yes, like Drew Pavley got banned from every university for being a knob. That was basically the reason for banning him. He was a knob. Toronto Maple Leaf, your cousin visiting in Ontario, lives up the Arctic in Iqaluit, is going back with his 4-year-old son. Just have to quarantine for 2 weeks, of course. Yes. Oh, music David, fuckwits who wear the mask with the nose. I call them dick noses because having the mask with your nose out is the same as wearing pants with your dick out. Technically, you're wearing pants, but you're defeating the purpose. Technically, you're wearing a mask, but defeating the purpose. Brennan, you had some bad hummus affected you the same way. Yeah. Food poisoning. Stomach flu and food poisoning are very hard to tell apart. Because they have a very similar effect. Keely, you clean medical buildings, factories and offices that do temp checks, 3 questions before let you in. Okay, so when I had COVID, I didn't have most of these. My fever was skin burning and tiny rash on my knee. Yeah, but they got to do what they do. Kirsten, you had a swine flu that hit you for 3 weeks in bed, 9 months of post-viral fatigue. Yeah, I reckon I had a really mild thing, but there was, I talked to a doctor afterwards and he said, the symptoms, there's blah, 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 and it was a swine flu variant. And I was real lucky. I only had it intense for 24 hours and it was 2-3 days to recover. I was fucked for 2 or 3 days. But 3 weeks in bed and 9 months of fatigue. That's not uncommon. Locust Trooper, there's plenty of fucking racists in Greece. The fascism, literal fascism, is on the rise in Greece. So, but you get, you look around the world, you get non-white people who join in the US, you get non-white people who join white supremacist groups for whatever fucking reason. And then the group says, see, we're not white supremacists. Here's our black person. Here's our Asian person. We're clearly not white supremacists. I have no idea why these people hang out with people who hate them, regard them as less than human, but they do. That's the thing. Says Brandon, feel free to use dick noses. I see them every day. I went to the supermarket today to get some essentials. Saw a couple of people there. Went for a walk with Mrs. Angry. Saw at least 2 or 3 people on the walk. We walked for a couple of kilometers around a park. Saw at least 2 or 3 dick noses. Fucking annoys me. Kelly, it absolutely is very easy to fall into racism. It's very easy to think you're being logical when you fall into racism, actually. Oh, gosh, Kirsten, your boss thought you were faking because you don't ever had a cold, even with the doctor's diagnosis. A few years ago, I was working with someone who had pneumonia, like had really quite bad pneumonia. When I started, she'd already been off for a couple of weeks with pneumonia that just wiped her out. And then she started coming back. First day she came back, she looked like death warmed up, and she was only there for 1 day and was gone again for a couple of days. She came back, and then she's like, I'm pretty sure I can go. And she'd survive 1 or 2 days at work and then have to be off for 1 or 2 days. So she'd be in for 2 or 3 days a week. This is like come in for a day and then have to stay in bed for a day. Come in for 2 days, have to stay in bed for 3 days. But she was determined, like she wasn't contagious. This was way past the contagion. This was just the recovery period. Oh my God, she was so, and it's because she was a contractor. She wasn't getting paid if she wasn't there. And she was wrecked. Like, and again, I think she was comparatively lucky. Like I think she'd been bedridden for 2-3 weeks, and her total recovery was another 2 months after that. Kelly went to a white school. Oh, okay. I grew up in the country and overwhelmingly white. And yeah, racism just becomes second nature. You don't even realize it. You don't realize you don't think I'm being racist. You just are. Invisible Chicken. Is there a Poppy troll doll? That sounds fascinating. Luke, did I tell a story in video? I've heard it before. Probably. I tell all stories a lot. Charlie Dick, those explanation gave you flashback. Emphasis on flash. Yes. I've had that happen to me too. The weirdest thing, maybe it was because I was dressed in nice clothes. I was going to a Christmas party, I think. This is when I was in Sydney. And there's this guy, he's like a rough sleeper. And I don't know why, but he looked at me and, yeah, and got his dick out. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And like I just walked away from him because I thought, dude, you look like you have about 50 really bad health problems, and I don't want to hit you, but if you come near me, I will hit you real fucking hard, and probably more than once. And you probably, won't cope real well with that, and then I'll feel bad. So I'm just going to walk away from you. So I think he thought I was scared of him and stood there following me with his dick out. And I was like, no, I just don't want to fucking hit you. And if you come near me, I will fucking hit you so fucking hard. Like Drew Pavlu wants to be labelled, probably work in Queensland. Chris, see, okay, you grew up poor and had a lot of non-white friends, and so you're upset when people were mean to your friends for no reason because it never occurred to you to be mean to people for no reason. Oh, no. Invisible Chicken, they placed a button that causes her to giggle and other sounds on the buttons between her legs. Oh, no. Oh, no. Nobody, you've been flashed by women. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have. Like, not unwillingly. Look, he wanted a warm hospital bed for aunt. He wanted to go out like a fucking light, mate. That's what he wanted. If a guy just gets his dick out, he's probably not wrapped too tight. I don't know, man. It was just it was a really fucking weird experience. Yep. Ooh, I probably should be juicing these lemons. Chris, you got flashed by a woman who was clearly drunk when you were like 11. That's fucked up. She shouldn't have done that. That is fucked up. I didn't get flashed by a drunk woman, and this was not when I was 11. This is not that long ago. I was out with some YouTubers. We'd had this uh, YouTube thing, and we're in the city, and I was with a couple of friends, and there was this woman just kind of slumped in the doorway of this office building, and she was by herself, and we just thought, wait, that's probably not good. And we went over to her and said, are you okay? And she just cried and went, no. And we're like, okay, we can't leave her here. This is very high risk. And go, okay, we're going to go to this venue that's just around the corner. If we can get her there, we'll just sit her in a chair and give her water to drink. And because we were going to hang out for, at least another hour or two, so that she might sober up a bit and then she'd be safe to get home. But she was really drunk and was really unhelpful. And it's like dead weight type thing, trying to carry her, and she's not helping at all and being upset. And she's thinking, and then she tried to tongue me like, "You're so nice," and I'm like, "Get off me!" And I'm trying to get her off me. It's just so fucking weird. Oh, anyway, nobody. The woman who flashed you wasn't drunk. She was playing games with me. You ignored her. You don't do games. That's fine. That is good. That is a positive attitude. Catherine, you got regular flu, first year of swine flu. Told mum got checked out, normal flu, slept on off 3-4 days. Oh, you called your mum. She was scared you died. Oh, no. And she didn't want to check on you again. She found your body. Oh, no. Oh, that's awful. Like a stripper, you're on a real Drew Pavlovich action. I agree. He's funny and mockable. He's absolutely mockable. He's a fucking Fruit Loop. But yeah. Oh, gosh. Kaylee get harassed by drunk men all the time. Yep. Yeah, that happens. Once at a bowling alley, guy groped your privates from behind. Bar was ready to beat him up, so paid for his tab to prevent a fight. Well, that was pretty noble. I think I might have been inclined to fucking let people beat the fuck out of him, quite honestly. I'm a little uncharitable sometimes. I was thinking for themed cocktails this week, there were 2 that leapt out at me. One was it's Schrodinger's birthday in a couple of days. The guy of the famous Schrodinger's cat. What is Schrodinger's cat story? It's mental exercise, hypothetical thing. I think it's a quantum science experiment. The other thing I was thinking of is the anniversary of Alcatraz, the first federal prisoners in Alcatraz. The Rock. Welcome to the Rock. Does anyone remember that movie with Sean Connery and Nick Cage? Was that like the last big movie Sean Connery was in? I kind of feel like it was. Now I feel compelled to look up Sean Connery's filmography and see what the last films he made were. Personal life, career, Beyond Bond. Ooh, Connery was offered the role of Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, but declined it, claiming he didn't understand the script. Connery was reportedly offered $30 million along with 15% of the worldwide box office receipts. If he had accepted, that would have earned him $450 million. Connery also turned down the opportunity to appear as the architect in the Matrix trilogy for similar reasons. Connery's disillusionment with the idiots now making films in Hollywood was cited as a reason for his eventual decision to retire. They've made his filmography. I'll look in IMDb, maybe. Sean Connery filmography. So, what was his last films? Dragonheart, The Rock was 96. He was in the Avengers. Okay, he made quite a few films. Oh, okay. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He was Alan Quatermain. That was 2003. Oh, and of course, he was in Finding Forrester in 2000. You're the man now, dog. Oh, nobody. Sorry, you saw that story. I've seen that story. I saw someone posted on social media saying it was them. It's a story, like a lot of McDonald's where you order and you pay and you pick up, and the person behind her was being really rude and beep 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 beep, and I'll show her something. So at the pay window, she says, I'll pay for mine and I'll pay for the woman's behind me. Let her know I've paid for hers. And then goes up to the pick up the order window. And so the woman behind her, who's been really obnoxious, gets told that the car in front of you is paid for your order. So she feels really bad. But then she got to the pickup order and she said, I paid for the next two. Yep. And she took all of them and pissed off, which is boss move. Boss move. Charlie, you love Dragonheart. Yes, he was the voice of the dragon in Dragonheart. Yes. So, yes. So Sean Connery's last on-screen role was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in 2003. So that was quite a long time after The Rock. Okay. I like trivia. Right, Halloween-inspired cocktails. The Devil's Kiss. Agua and a lime shot. Cranberry and agua on the rocks. Bolivian Body Mary. A Green Angel. Limoncello. Gin. Agua. That actually sounds pretty good. So, anyway, jumping all over the place with topics. Could I make an Alcatraz cocktail or a Schrodinger cocktail? This thing with Schrodinger's cat, the cat is both alive and dead. So Schrodinger. If I just do a search for Schrodinger cocktail. Ooh, what the fuck? Schrodinger cocktail. Well, someone's decided a Schrodinger cocktail. Schrodinger's fizz. Schrodinger's cat. Ooh, it's mezcal, is it? I like mezcal. So what do they say? Ingredients. Jesus, why are these fucking websites laid out so badly all the time? Lemon juice, bitters, sugar syrup, mezcal, lily blanc, and bourbon. Mezcal, lily blanc, and bourbon. What an interesting combo. So this person's logic for using mezcal and bourbon is because it sounds both perfect and undrinkable until you actually taste it. Okay. That's weird. It's weird. Oh, Jesus, Chris, you want COVID to go away so you can make a short film. Good luck with that, man. I don't see it going away anytime soon. Have I ever been a bartender? No, I've become an enthusiastic amateur over the last year or two. Brandon, you have a half bottle of Bacardi Rum Gold. No idea what to make with it besides usual done ginger drinks. What fruit juices do you have, Brandon? Because Bacardi Gold goes quite well with an array of fruit juices. Stuff like lime, pineapple, coconut. These are all really good flavors to do with rum. Lucas Trooper, have I watched Sapenza, the South African racist? No, I'm not at all familiar with that, actually. So, Charlie, you think the mezcal and bourbon sounds gross? Should I try it? I've got the ingredients. What do they say? Mezcal, Lily Blanc, Bourbon, sugar syrup. Yeah, you know what? I was going to squeeze these lemons for lemon juice anyway. Then I'll have some fresh lemon juice. Let me. Where's my juicer? I'm going to do an experiment. Okay. I'm going to do an experiment on what gets the most juice out of a lemon. Where's my elbow? Bartender's elbow. Okay. I need a knife. I need a plate. I need a filter. All right. I am going to test something here. Something I've been wondering. Probably should do this as a video, but can't be bothered setting up my camera, and I want to do it now. So, I've got like a standard citrus juicer, and the thing the cool kids have, the cool bartenders, the bartender's elbow. And I always get the feeling this doesn't get as much juice as this. So I'm going to try. I've got 4 lemons here, about the same size. Actually, they're different sizes. I'll try and get them. Alrighty. Calm down. That looks about right. Wait, of these ones. Right, I need that. Right. So, I want to put these in a container as well. Where will I get one of those? Oh, fucking hell. You know what have I got? Ah, this one. I just finished that. That'll do. That will do. Probably should wash it properly, but I'll just rinse it. Alright, so. Science, science, science. We are doing science. Right. That can go there. Oh, I want my little filter, which is down here. Strainer, I should say. Right. Okay, so. I'm going to see which one produces the most juice. Right. First, just cut them in half. And do them quick style with the bartender's elbow. That's very juicy. Okay. Half a lemon. I probably should do it with a bigger volume to be sure, but this is just what I have, 4 lemons. Half a lemon. Getting a decent amount of juice out of these lemons, which is good. All right, ow. This is the last one for the bartender's elbow. Okay, so that is just under 1/3 of a cup. Just under 1/3 of a cup. What's it on this side? It's, yeah. It's just under 1/3 of a cup. Okay, cool. Put that away. I got just under 1/3 of a cup from that. Okay, now with ye oldie-fashioned citrus squeezer, which I suspect extracts more juice. I don't have a lot of space here, but I'll work with what I've got. Struggle, struggle, struggle. You see that? Like thoroughly juice that. See, this is the reason I have my doubts about. That's the squeezed one from the elbow, and that's the squeezed one from the citrus. And I feel like there's a whole bunch of pulp still there. So I feel like I'm missing out on juice when I do it with the elbow. But I got one of them because all the cool kid YouTube cocktail channels use them. And I wanted to be like the cool kids. I'm very influenced by peer pressure, basically, is what I'm saying. All right, that's 1 lemon down. It's very unscientific because I didn't really weigh the lemons or anything. But I think I picked them fairly, but we'll see. Squeeze this lemon. Ugh, these lemons make a fool of me. All right. Got the... Okay, so I've squeezed 2 lemons with your traditional citrus squeezer. How much juice did that produce? Okay. A little little bit more. About the same. About the same. So it's about the same. So I'm not losing too much. I was worried I was losing too much by using the elbow, basically. But that little experiment suggests that I'm not losing too much. Yeah, that's useful. One slightly sad lemon. Yeah, if I was being really scientific, I'd actually use more volume and I'd have a more precise measuring thing. I could use more fruit and have a more precise vessel to measure. And I'd weigh the fruit before, rather than just eyeballing those look about the same size. But I got the basic answer I wanted, which is I don't seem to be missing out on a lot of juice by using the elbow, because I'd started to think I did. But that's tonight's science experiment. That was conducted so I could get some fresh lemon juice. Stella, you were going to make a urine sample joke. I was using too much for using the elbow. Oh dear. Oh, nobody's got company. Lucky you. Right. So I'm going to make this questionable sounding drink, the Schrodinger's cat. Right. Fresh lemon juice. Yeah. Okay. Now, I just need to clear some shit away because I have crowded myself with shit. Just need to move it away. Maybe wash my hands because they've got lemon juice all over them. Right. I'm interested. What sort of glass did this person serve their Schrodinger cocktail in? A coupe. That's fine. Let's do it in a coupe. Just going to chill a coupe. And get a shaker. All right. I'm going to use Starwood. I'm going to use Mezcal. On this out of the way. And I'm going to use Cookie Americano. And some sugar syrup. Right. Right you are. And a dash of bitters. Okay, so 3/4 ounce, half an ounce mezcal, half an ounce bourbon. Okay. Kirsten, you had another whiskey emergency, but you were quick and snapped up first release of Backwards Rye to match your Backwards single malt. Nice. I love you, man. That is a nice name for a YouTube channel and a nice message. Whiskey weirdness. I email from Costco today. Costco are selling a $23,000 bottle of whiskey. It's some rare 40-year-old Johnny Walker something. It's like farcical. It's just ridiculous shit for rich people to spend their money on. Chris, is this the same house I've been? Anyway, I moved here 3 years ago. So There was one house I was in for like over 10 years when I was making a bunch of YouTube videos, but I moved into this house 3 years ago. Chris, there are bunches of Costco's in Australia. Yes. Toronto Maple Leaf. I've had some loss with the elbow squeezer. There for bartenders. Yes, it is. It's a quick. The elbow is a speed thing. It's much, and it's less fuss than a citrus squeezer. But my little experiment showed you don't miss much. So I need my jigger, my shaker, some ice. Ice, baby. All right, ice, baby. Jigger, shaker, ice. A lot of ice. I like a lot of ice. Okay, so this recipe, which is both good and terrible, like Schrodinger's cat. Yes, I used to, the old house had a shed I could shoot in. Now I scream inside the house. So, yeah. Charlie, I think you might be right about Costco not selling booze in Queensland. But they do here in Victoria. All right, so this drink has 1.5 ounces. They said bourbon. I'm using Starward Twofold, which is the nice mixer. Okay, so 1.5 ounces of Starward Twofold whiskey. Fine Australian content. I'm just going to double check, quadruple check. 1/2 ounce. I thought so. Bunch of 1/2 ounces now. Okay, so 1/2 ounce sugar syrup. Half ounce sugar syrup. 1/2 ounce mezcal with the worms. Can you see the worms in the bottom? Got my mezcal worms. Half an ounce of smoky mezcal. Half an ounce of Coke Americano. They say Lillet Blanc, which I don't have, and this is a good substitute. Supposedly, there's similar ingredients to the old Quina Lillet. Who knows? Okay, now 3/4 of an ounce of the freshly squeezed lemon juice. And a dash of bitters, I think they said. Dash of bitters, which is just here. Yeah, Chris, I hope this works too. Yes, Stella. Dan's had a special on all the Game of Thrones whiskies, I think. Yes, Toronto Maple Leaf for the old house did have a big flowering tree. This house has a lot of plants in it because Miss Angry's a gardener. A bunch of really dramatic orchids opening at the moment, actually. All right, so shake this. Okay, that's too cold to hold. Too cold to hold. It's nice and chilled. I'll just use this strainer to stop any ice getting in the drink. get my coupe glass out of the freezer. Should have chilled it nicely. Alrighty. So now I'm going to strain this into my glass. That's an interesting colour. We might be getting some interesting ASMR from the drink just sort of dribbling out. All right. Will do for that. A bit in there. All right. So this is one person's recipe for a Schrodinger's cat cocktail. We can smell the mezcal. It's like smoky barbecue. You know, it works. Ooh, there's such contrast in the flavors. It's like even though there's only half an ounce of the mezcal, you really notice it. And then getting some of the other flavors, like fruity flavors, like from the Coke Americano and the lemon juice. And then the smoke will come back again. I agree, Safra. It looks mango. It looks very mango. It's pretty good. So my normal ratings out of 10. It's probably a 7 out of 10. It's pretty good. I wouldn't complain about being given this drink. Maybe could have done with slightly less lemon juice. It's pretty good though. Toronto Maple Leaf, until recently in Ontario, the only place you get alcohol was from the LCBO, the beer store, mandated and controlled by provincial government. Wow, okay. Celia, Happy World Mental Health Day. How mentally sound? That's the big question, because there are lots of reasons to not feel particularly mentally sound at the moment. So it's a genuine question. If I ever do the "Are you okay?" it's an actual question, and not good is a perfectly acceptable answer. So, in a world that's doing its best to mess with our mental health, it is worth pausing to ask, how are we actually doing? So, Toronto Maple Leaf, that setup's a bit annoying for people who drink, but on the bright side, brought billions of dollars into the provincial yearly budget. Now a limited amount of grocery stores are allowed to sell beer. There you go. Chris, off to bed. Thanks for dropping in, man. Nice to see you. Ooh, Safa Shepparton's got 9 COVID cases now. Ooh. So LCBO means Liquor Control Board of Ontario. There you go. Yes, we have. You can only buy alcohol in what we call bottle shops. A lot of supermarkets now have a bottle shop attached. But bottle shops had traditionally been standalone things or next to a pub, part of a pub. In the UK, they refer to on-licensed sales and off-licensed sales. That's buying your booze on licensed premises, where you can actually drink on premises as well, or buying from an off-license, which is what we call a bottle shop. It means it's off-licensed premises. Yeah, you're not meant to drink it there. You're meant to take it home. So obviously in licensed restaurants, bars, clubs, etc., you buy booze to drink there. But if you're getting takeaway, you buy that from a bottle shop. So, yeah. Luke, you're wondering how many cases Adelaide has COVID-19. Who knows? There is, in all probability, some cases in the community in Adelaide that haven't been detected. Hopefully it won't get out of control. So in former USSR countries, there's an alcohol aisle inside the supermarket. Yeah. And I know that's what they have in some places in the US, like 7-Elevens sell booze in the US. So for the glories of English, aisle in terms of a row in a supermarket is actually spelt AISLE because English makes no sense. An aisle, if you're talking about an island, is ISLE because English makes no sense. Yes, English is just a hodgepodge of a bunch of other languages. Germanic, French, Latin. English never met a language they didn't want to steal something from. Kirsten, scan sales from Jolly Green Giant showed that Australian booze category grew by 20-ish%, Australian whiskey grew by 12%, which means the local drink message is working. Yes, that's the message I'm pushing as much as possible. Drink local. Yes, I'm an English teacher now, Safa. Absolutely. Toronto Maple Leafs, since the pandemic started in March, you've only had 57 cases in your country, being the area's very rural farming community. Yes, being isolated is the best protection against this pandemic, basically. And I agree with you, Toronto Maple Leaf. English is the ultimate fuck you of a bastard language. It is absolutely bastard. Interestingly, when you ask people what they think is the most common root for English language, I think most people would say Latin. Some might say French. It's actually German. There are more Germanic words in English than the ones derived from Latin, Italian, Spanish, and French. Yes, Charlie, that's another good description. A clusterfuck of other languages. So if you're wondering if there's any Gaelic pre-Roman languages in currently use, well, of course, Gaeilge, Irish, is still spoken. And there's Welsh and Scottish Gaelic languages as well. Whiskey is Irish. The Irish word for whiskey is Uisgebaha, water of life, and that got anglicized. The whiskey got anglicized to whiskey. So that's a Gaelic word that's in English. There's probably quite a few more. Brennan, you have whingers, crybabies, can't handle being told to stay in quarantine for the sake of everyone else. I hate those people. I hate those people so much. I'm due to make another video about them, telling them they should definitely protest. And it's not because I want to see the cops fuck them up. I value their freedom. They should express their freedom. And I'm not going to laugh when I see videos of the cops fucking them up. Much. Safa, Ukrainians about 50% Russian, 50% Polish. That would make sense. That would absolutely make sense. was I thinking? Like, it was really interesting. There are some similarities and crossovers between Korean and Japanese, but there's also a huge amount of antipathy between Korean and Japanese people. So if you want to piss off a Korean person, you say that a lot of their language is Japanese. And if you want to piss off a Japanese person, you say a lot of their language is Korean, because no one really knows which direction it went in. But there's some very obvious crossover between Korean and Japanese. But they get really pissed off if you suggest that. Stella, bread, butter, and green cheese is good English and good fries. Yeah, there you go. So English and Frisian are closely related. I hate French. Why use all those letters and not pronounce them? I think French is a hoax. Well, they think they are pronouncing them, I think. They don't understand what English... There you go, Claxon Cow. Thank you. Penguin is from Welsh. Penguin means white head face. Welsh sailors called them that. English sailors adopted it. Nice. There you go. Learning something. The Angry Aussie channel is the learning channel. Did I show you this? I think I did. It's my new carbonator. It's like AKA a SodaStream knockoff, but this works with a safety release valve on the top. So they say you can carbonate anything. Because if you do anything apart from pure water with SodaStream, it fucking explodes and sprays everywhere. So I'd learned that to my misfortune. But yes, with this one, I could carbonate anything. Stella, on the subject of borrowed words, there's a bunch of words used in Australian mining which are Cornish words, which have been inherited from the Cornish miners who migrated to South Australia, then to the goldfields. That also makes sense. Charlie, you like German because it makes sense once you know the rules, all phonetic, and French makes no sense. That is a fair call, actually. It's an absolutely fair call. And Germanic is very descriptive, very explicit. Gecko, good morning to you. Joining us after one of your shifts, I guess, are you? Right. Well, that's my one drink for tonight. It's not bad. I'm going to make a cocktail tomorrow night, cocktail video tomorrow night. I think if I'm going to do an Alcatraz or a Schrodinger. What are the other ideas for a Schrodinger's cat? Sirius eats. Okay, I think this is a different one. No, it's the same. Whiskey, mezcal, Lillet Blanc. They also say put some peach slices in and muddle them. And that sounds too fussy. And I can't be bothered doing that. So that's got some traction. Whoever invented the Schrodinger's cat. 1.5 ounces whiskey, 1/2 ounce mezcal, 1/2 ounce Le Blanc, 3/4 ounce lemon juice, 1/2 ounce, say honey syrup. Oh, I've got my own sugar syrup, so that's what I'm going to use. Charlie, German has 3 genders. With language, yes, I believe it's male, female, and neuter, isn't it? And Safa, yes. Languages that have, when you haven't grown up with a language that has feminine and masculine forms, it's very confusing. I agree. So if you think Russian has 2 genders, Claxton, that's why English has no grammatical gender. German has 3 genders, French 2, and they disagree on what gender word should be, so English couldn't resolve it and gave up on gender. Safa, you found English pretty easy to learn as a child. What was the first language you learned, Safa? Because again, I think children generally are more flexible with learning languages. God, I remember my bloody daughter when she was in prep or year one. And she was learning Chinese, and so she was learning about tones. It's not just the words, the letters. It's the tone that you say it in changes the word, and like she's even saying like learning how to say hello, ni hao, and she was saying. I was getting the tone wrong, and then she'd say back to me, ni hao, and I'm going, ni hao, and she kept saying I was getting it wrong, and after I got it wrong 3 or 4 times, she just did this, I don't know, at the time, she's 6 or 7 years old, maybe younger, and she does this condescending pat on my hand going, "That's okay, Daddy. Teacher said that adults find it hard to do." It's just like, oh, I'm being condescended to by a fucking baby. What the hell? So, Safa, you're a Russian native speaker. Okay, cool. Stella, in Italian, is there Rossi or Rossa, depending on the gender of the object? A Ferrari is feminine. Of course it is. Did you head in when you were doing school play in Italian in primary school? Yeah, if it's a drink, it's Rossa. Not the Rossi. So that's the alcoholic in me talking, because I know there's the Rossa vermouth. It's not Rossi vermouth, it's Rossa. Oh my God, I was watching this live stream tonight with Henry the Legend, and they were all talking about sherries and the different ones, and I think he was very excited when he had a cocktail. There's a classic cocktail that's possibly the precursor to the martini. It's called the Martinez. It's older than the martini. Some people think the name martini comes from, this is a riff on a Martinez, calling it a martini. And so he was making a riff on the Martinez with Pedro Jimenez sherry, and so he took great pleasure in to do the Spanish pronunciation of a Jimenez Martinez. Toronto Maple Leaf, when mouth breathers spat on about they're poisoning ourselves with carbon dioxide by wearing the masks. Every time you've debated on them, you tell them you're an expert. How are you an expert? Canadian who deals with the fuck you cold of winter for 6 or 7 months a year. You know what? We're outside in winter for long periods of time. Yeah. We're having our version of cold winter, which is in the low single digits Celsius, and the face masks actually keep the face nice and warm. Locust Triffer, back from trunking your shit. Good on you, buddy. Thick wind blocking insulating scarves. Been wearing scarves for 30 years. Never seen, heard anyone suffer from any bullshit conditions they talk about. Oh, yeah, no, the people who say they can't breathe through them are talking shit. Okay, there's a small number of people. I can see there are certainly some psychological aspects of it that would be genuine with some people, that they couldn't breathe. But yeah, when you get these people saying, "I can't because of medical condition," I feel quite comfortable in placing a bet that 99% of the people who say they can't wear a mask for medical reasons are fucking lying. They're just fucking pieces of shit. Yes, Kirsten, Henry wants to put his drama school skills to use. Not sure if he's multilingual. He's very good at the accents. So I don't know if he just learned accents at drama school or if he actually speaks multiple languages. Ooh, damn. Suffer, you lived in Siberia for 3 years. Got to minus 20 Celsius for one day last time you were there. Damn. Oh, God. Stella, you were just looking at top chat rather than live chat. Yeah, I agree. That sucks. The proverbial, you don't realize it's on that setting and you miss a bunch of the chat. I think I get all of the chat on StreamYard, but it's very hard to be sure. Like Sugar, mate, what did you miss? What have we been talking about? We talk about so many things, I lose tracks. You can hear a clicky clock. We do. It's a battery-powered one. It's just there. It's going tick, tick, tick. So for a 75-year-old man got punched for not wearing a mask because he had an exemption in a regional town. I don't agree. Well, I don't agree with punching a 75-year-old man in any circumstance. I don't agree with punching someone, even if they're just being a colossal asshole about not wearing a mask. I mean, I don't even want to be particularly rude or aggressive to someone who's not wearing a mask. But if the cops fuck them up, that's their fault. So, yeah, I mean, like when I saw the dick noses walking around, I didn't bother to say anything like, you're not wearing the mask properly, you're a fucking idiot. You know, it's fucking life's too short. If people are going to be fuckheads, they're going to be fuckheads. Like I saw this guy, I mentioned in another live stream when I was out walking with Mrs. Angry, this guy who wasn't wearing a mask and sort of walked past these barriers to exercise equipment in the park and started using it. So he's clearly trying to start a fucking fight. So I wanted nothing to do with him. So, yeah, I don't want to get into it really. Trying to believe you call out people who say they can't breathe. Do you have asthma? Where's your inhaler? Your farming cousin has severe asthma but works in the hayloft. She wears an N95 mask with no issues. If it's bad enough, she'll wear a full-face respirator. Yeah, at least 99% of the people who say, I have a medical reason for not wearing it are fucking liars. Absolute fucking liars. Still, yes, that ridiculous woman who's on video saying she's being discriminated against as a woman for not wearing a face mask in Bunnings. You'd punch her in the face as a woman. Yeah, that would be fair. It's just these people, they want attention. They're like doing this stuff, and just first time I've ever noticed there's a hologram on this, a holographic sticker to prove it's legit. Oh, and there's a fucking QV code. Now I want to know what that is. Like a stripper, you do just tell them off. Yeah. For all my YouTube behavior, I really usually don't want to cause a scene. What happens when I scan the QV code? Mezcal Consejo Regulator. It refers to me. This is 100% agave Don Juan Escobar Mezcal artisanal. That proves it's the genuine product. Well done, Don Juan Escobar. Claxon Cow, you wear a mask for medical reasons, not catching COVID again. Yep, that's a good reason. I just think it's weird that I just the other bottle that I bought ages ago. I kept this bottle just because it's got worms in it. No, this one doesn't have the sticker. That was imported by different people. But I don't know. I bought this a while ago, and you can see I've been drinking it. And until tonight, I didn't notice it had this authenticity sticker on it. It's got a rainbow hologram and the QV code that you scan it, and it goes to the official registrar site in Mexico that says, yes, this is a genuine product, which is nice. Yes, like a stripper. I am very calm in real life. Yeah. Kirsten, don't bother with the code on the back of Starwood bottles. Function's currently not working on the website. It's a barcode. This one doesn't have a QR code. Does the Fortis have a QR code? Oh, enter your unique code. That's what you mean. Okay. But that's not working. All right. C'est la vie. Gecko, you've been feeling a bit sick, sore throat, tired, but no fever. Feel better today. Dude, that could be it. Maybe you should have got tested. Yeah, sorry. I just saw that it's a unique code. Yes. Here's the thing, Kirsten. I don't know if you'll be excited or jealous by this news. I did order the new finger lime gin from Applewood. Should arrive this week. I ordered the finger lime gin, the limoncello, and the sweet yuzu vermouth. And I'm looking forward to that arriving. And I think when it does, I'm going to add a bit of a Starwood week on my YouTube channel last week with the Fortis made the Rusty Mac and the Boulevardier with all Australian content. I think when I get the sweet vermouth, yep. I'm going to make an Australian Manhattan, aka the That's Not a Knife. So I did Manhattan before with Australian ingredients and was calling it an Australian in Manhattan. And then I joked, like, should it be called a Crocodile Dundee? And AZ said, no, it should be called a That's Not a Knife. So that will be the name of my Australian Manhattan when I make it. It will be the That's Not a Knife. This is not distributed. Do I yell at people in the street? No. Yell at people in traffic. Yes. Claxton K, you're in a supermarket. The woman behind you wasn't 2 meters away. So, screw it. There's that much rush. I let her go first. Went to the back of the queue. Some people are such idiots. People are indeed idiots. That's like almost when anything goes wrong and people go, oh, how did that happen? Why did they do that? And I said, well, have you met people? People are fucked. It's like almost any time anything goes wrong, something bad happens or people do something and people, oh, what's that about? So, well, start with the premise, people are shit, and that pretty much explains everything that comes after. Brandon, how's AZ been? I am worried about AZ as I have not heard from him for a week, and he hasn't replied to my messages or calls, in fact. And for this long, that's a bit of a bad sign. Hopefully, I will hear from him soon, and then he'll go, oh, really? Did you think I was dead? Why did you think that? Dude, I fucking tell you all the time, if you don't contact me, I think you're dead because, you're half dead all the time anyway. So just feel like maybe you are actually dead. So fucking reply to me occasionally. Stella, you planted a finger lime. It's struggling through winter, but if it makes it, you might have to turn it into booze. Yes. It's good flavor. It's a good flavor. Look, Stripper, who's the person that tried to have a go at you when you went for a walk? Mrs. Angry. Oh, no. If someone has a go at me, I'll probably respond. But no, this guy, we were almost a block away from him when I saw him go, that guy's not wearing a mask. Oh, and he's just fucking strode into the fenced off gym equipment and he's aggressively pushing out. Like, yeah, he wants someone to say, hey, you're not allowed to do that, and he's going to start a fight. So fuck him. I'm going to ignore him. Feelings Healer, hello, good evening, and goodbye. Because it's bedtime. It is bedtime. I'm going to go to bed. Thank you everyone for joining. It seemed to be a slightly slow start and then got very busy in the chat. Yes, like a trooper, he was an idiot. He's an idiot who's trying to cause trouble, and I was having nothing to do with him. But yes, I am in fact going to go to bed because it is that time of night. Oh, I see. Sorry, Gecko saying something. Local radio station's doing a birthday scam in about 10 minutes. You'll have to explain it to me another time because I'm gonna go to bed. So, Stella, you pinched a finger lime off a tree, put it in a clarified parasol, made a while back. It was yummy. Yes, finger lime is a pretty good flavor. I've got finger lime bitters. Actually, I don't think it's even bitters. I think it's like just a finger lime essence for flavoring drinks. To make believe, what have I started or expanded during lockdown? If you find it's me, it's my cocktail channel on YouTube. That's what I've been doing. Yes, classic middle of the day. No, it's 10 p.m. on a Monday, and I survived. So I'm going to go to bed now. Another exciting day of work tomorrow from home. This is my workstation just behind me. That's where I work. And I have never once had, I sit next to my drinks, right? And I'll have to admit, I look at them. I have never once had a drink during the day. Pretty proud of that, actually, in all seriousness. But yeah, I just drink when I'm with you people. You cause my drinking problem. I only had one drink. That's all right. I haven't had any drinks for a couple of days. Well, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. All right, going to bed. Thank you, wonderful people, for joining me. It has, as always, been a pleasure to have your company. I have to angry bunch it another night. Don't know why I didn't tonight, but anyway. Stay well, one and all, as much as is possible. Look after yourself because we all really need to in these weird and troubling times. And I hope we get to hang out. Sorry. I guess sometimes you pat the drink. Yes. I look at my drinks approvingly, like, yeah, you're pretty good. I could drink one of you, but I won't. So look after yourself. Just see you again soon.